Des, thanks for cruising by, brother. Thanks for cruising by. So how did you become, man? I mean, obviously, you're a great tattoo artist and hot right here in the game. How'd you become like the portrait guy? How'd that come about?
Before even tattooing, I was always drawing. That was actually my thing. So since I was a kid, I was always into drawing. I didn't know it was actual
just
talent.
Naturally.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know it was like a
gift.
gift. I didn't take no class. I was just one of those people that every time I had a chance, I would be drawing on paper. It started with me drawing out friends. You know, you hang out with a few people, you want to draw them out, and then I turn them into like superheroes. So as a kid, I would draw like one of my fast friends into like Flash. Yeah. Or like, you know, one of my strong friends into like Hulk.
Oh, that's cool.
And then from there, I just kept drawing people. I liked the idea of just putting faces on, and it led me into doing like the portraits and tattooing.
Okay, and then that led to, because that's become popular as of late, man.
I think it's one of the most tattoos that people don't regret. I think usually when you're getting tattoos, like a portrait, you're getting someone you loved or someone who has passed. So I think when people get that tattoo, it's one of those things that when they get it, they know they want it and it means something to them.
Yeah, it's meaningful.
Exactly.
And you've tattooed a lot of big names too. Is there a particular a client that stands out?
Falling into like the athletes world, for some reason I tattoo a lot of like baseball players and football players and etc. Lewis Hamilton as well, F1 driver.
Oh wow, okay.
He's like one of the biggest names I've done. But no, I think honestly I just like tattooing people. So I feel like as long as you pick up something from them, you take it along the way. So one thing I've learned with athletes is like the reason they're so successful is because of how they are about their day. Like they on point with everything they do.
Regimented and everything. And
so
it just become word of mouth like that, and so people start hearing. And
I wouldn't even know how it started, to be honest. I know one day it was like someone slid into my DM and I was like, Lewis Hamilton's hitting me up, you know? And I was like, I didn't even know who he was at the time because I wasn't big on F1 yet.
Sure.
So it was probably like let's say 2017. Okay. So when they first told me Lewis Hamilton was coming get tatted by me, I thought it was like the guy from the Broadway show. And it was like, nah, it's Lewis Hamilton, F1 driver. And I was like, oh, all right. And then after that, I never stopped hearing his name again.
That story true about Bryce Harper wanting you?
No, me and Bryce, we actually pretty cool. I met him a few times, and last year at the All-Star, I'm not sure it was last year or the year before, we kind of spoke about it. He's been trying to get tattooed by me, but then he started doing his own thing, got traded, and then it got to a point that we still haven't tattooed yet, but we always run into each other, so hopefully one day we do it.
Does he have any yet?
He has a few. He got a few small stuff, but he want to get like bigger work.
The thing, huh? It does. When people say it's addicting.
You don't have any?
I don't have any, man. My old man,
my old man
would have whooped my ass. And I think and I have so much Catholic guilt. If I did ever get one, it had to be something spiritual, like a cross or something.
Well, the thing,
then I feel guilty.
If I'm not doing tattoos or portraits, I'm usually doing religious stuff.
Okay,
so most of the time, it is either portraits or like biblical, religious, Jesus Christ stuff. So
that sort of stuff.
I hope that kind of gets me into heaven.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be doing the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
But you made a bit of a bold move. You left Bang Bang Tattoo, which was considered one of the best studios out there.
Yeah, I got into Bang Bang around 2017 as well. Shout out to Bang Bang, by the way. It's been a lot of going on about like us. I have no problem with that guy. It's nothing but love. So shout out to Bang. He gave me an opportunity to even showcase my work, and I'm gonna always be grateful for that. But yeah, I left Bang Bang about 2 years ago, and it was nothing against him. It was more about just me having to do something I wanted to do for myself, almost like a new experience of life.
Yeah, venture you're out in your own business. How tough was that transition?
It wasn't pretty tough at all, to be honest. I went from working at a tattoo shop to kind of doing my own private studio. I think because it's private, most of my clients, they kind of like the privacy as well. Especially like athletes and people like that kind of don't want to be bothered.
So nobody can just walk in?
You can't just walk in, no. You gotta, it's more of an appointment thing, and then the building, it's a nice luxury building. Yeah. One day when you want to get tatted, I get you in there.
You get in there with the cross.
But no, it's one of those things that I feel like because I already had like a good clientele, I didn't have to like do too much, you just keep it rolling.
Got it. And what's this with Chess Palmentary?
So the funny thing with Palm, just like you, it's like I grew up watching you guys, right? So he was like one of my dogs. Like Bronx Tale, even though it was made in Queens, I'm from the Bronx. So the Bronx Tale was one of the biggest, movies of my life. Exactly, growing up. So when the moment that he actually showed me love, he threw me in one of his podcasts.
Oh, that's
cool.
He
mentioned a tattoo I did of him. And then, everybody's like, yo, you seen Palm? Chaz, he shouted you out. And I was like, nah, I haven't seen it, so I'll go check it out. And then after that, he's like, man, I love what you're doing. Can I come check you out? He came, checked me out. He took us out to dinner. He just wanted to talk to us. He's such a cool dude.
Does he have any tattoos?
He doesn't have tattoos, but what he made me do one time, he made me put like a stencil on him so he could show it to his wife, pretending he was gonna get a tattoo. Yeah, so even though actually,
maybe I'll do that one time.
Yeah, so even though he never got tattooed by me, that's one of the biggest experiences I had. Like with someone that is like, I grew up at like 8, 9 years old, seeing this guy, and then
you were Caledro's age.
Yeah, he appreciated my work. He's like, yeah, let's pretend you're doing a tattoo on me. But his son comes get tatted all the time.
Oh, his son is okay.
Yeah, he's a tattoo collector as well, so it's pretty cool.
So you can pretty much like look at the image and then just duplicate it?
As a tattoo, I wouldn't look at it and try to duplicate it. We have stencils for that.
You got stencils. And how do stencils work? Like what?
So the stencil is, well, now it's so much easier because now the stencil is done by computer. So you literally just change, you Photoshop a picture into a stencil and then it prints out and then you just do it. When I first started, you kind of had a hand stencil it. So it took like an hour to do the stencil.
So like you kind of like, it's kind of like a trace, like you do it and then you put the ink
Before you trace it on paper. So for example, say this is a tattoo, I'm getting like this paper, I'll put it on top of a stencil and I'll like trace what I need to put on the person's skin.
And how does it work now?
It's a machine that does it for you. You literally put this paper into a machine, it turns the blue stencil paper into it, and then I just put it on someone's skin. So it saves a lot of time.
It saves a lot of time.
A lot of time, and also saves a workout, because while you're doing the stencil itself, your arm is already getting tired. So before you even start the tattoo, you're kind of like out of it. You're like, damn, I'm gonna need another break.
What's the longest it's taken you to complete a tattoo?
Oof. Because I tattoo a lot of athletes, most of the time they fly me out to like, they like to have their own privacy, so I go to their house and stuff, and I'll tattoo all day. We'll start like 11, we won't finish till like 12, 1. I mean, of course we take breaks, you know, we eat, we watch movies, we're constantly doing things together, so we take a little breaks here and there, but there's times where, like for example, Carlos Correa, he plays for the Astros.
Yeah.
He doesn't tap out. That guy, he gets tattooed all day, and you're like,
really?
Yeah. He started looking at me a little differently. He wanted to kick my ass after a while, but he sits.
But he sits. There's no wiggle room. And what's up with this collab with The Rock?
All right, the thing with The Rock is Papa Tui. I'm not sure if you heard of it. I actually brought you some stuff.
Okay.
So Papa Tui is a men's aftercare for tattoos. I didn't bring you nothing for tattoos because I figured you didn't have any.
Yeah.
But I did bring you other stuff like face wash and stuff like that. So the thing with that was, the funny thing is that I was looking for a new deodorant to try, and I kept passing by, I always go into Target with my lady, I kept passing by this Papa Tui brand. And then I was like, you know what, let me try the deodorant one day. I tried the deodorant. After that, like a week later, I come back, I try the eye care. And little by little, I just keep liking everything they put in out. I'm like, I like the packaging, I like the stuff that they put in there, I like the scent, and I like that it's for men. Like in a way, men don't really take care of themselves. At least I don't. There's a lot of men who kind of do it. I'm one of those people that I feel like I'm always in a rush. Yeah. So when I kind of got into it, kind of helped me like want to take care of myself. In a way, it kind of made me embrace myself as well. And then they dropped like a tattoo line of products, like tattoo aftercare. So at that point, I was like, I need to reach out to them. And I literally slid in their DM and it worked.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, you don't know if you don't ask. Man.
Yo, I always try. I tell people all the time, I try to reach out to people to DM. Yeah. And if it don't work, it don't work. And if it does, look, now I got a little deal with Papa Tui. The Rock put me on his page. We did a bunch of things together.
Who does your tattoos?
Oh.
You got a bunch of different people?
I've been collecting tattoos since I was a kid, so.
Also a bunch of artists?
Just a bunch of artists. A lot of them I kind of don't like, but it's whatever is part of my life at the time.
Yeah.
Like I got the ones on my neck just because I didn't want like a plan B. So once I started tattooing, I was like, yo, if I look like a tattoo artist, I can't go back.
Hey, you committed.
And then I did a lot on myself on my thighs.
Oh, damn, you do them on yourself even?
I did some on myself. So when I first started tattooing, I wasn't able to book because people didn't trust me. And I was in a shop that, back in the Bronx, I was in a shop that the owner of the shop, he has clientele. The person next to him had a clientele, and I was one of those guys coming in. So most of the time I was in there cleaning. So people thought I was a janitor. Yeah. They was like, oh, that guy's cleaning. I was like, nah, that guy tattoos. Yeah. So I had to start like tattooing myself so I could kind of put that on Instagram. This was when Instagram kind of first started.
Yeah, because then it was like, you don't want to be like, hey, I'm going to be homie's first tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. So when they see me do like my first portrait,
that's a commitment. Yeah.
They was like, bro, I want to get a portrait done by this guy. And little by little, I just started booking. It worked. And then after that, I never stopped. Yeah, it's one of those things, like I've been booked out for like 3 or 4 months forever.
That's good.
And I can't complain. It's overwhelming at times, but I wouldn't take no other way.
That's awesome. Hey, and looking ahead, what's the next chapter look like for you? What are you focusing on?
So as of right now, I got the little private studio. I do want to kind of open up some other stuff and travel more. I realized like the private studio is cool because I'm doing, you know, I'm taking over New York, but I do want to travel more to LA. I go to Houston all the time. I want to move around. I just traveled to London, which I like the fact that I get to use what I do for a living and visit the world. So I kind of want to do more of that. And eventually I want to jump into my own like branding, clothing, and more stuff into the tattoo world.
Right on, man. Hey, good for you. I like the entrepreneurship, man.
Yeah, appreciate it,
Right on.
Maji.
Congrats, Dad.
Thank you.